Continuing our discussion of fuzzing, we want to talk about how you could use something like a simple script to make this process a little bit easier. So, what I have here is a very simple Perl script. Perl is ancient, it's been around forever. It's probably installed by default on your Linux system, and it has a lot of nice features. So, what does the script look like? Well, the script starts out with a special comment. The special comment has a pound or hash sign followed by an exclamation point, and then it has a command to run. So, this is a common thing that is done with scripts in Linux. This is sometimes called the pound bang or shebang or hash bang, depending on who you ask. So it will run the Perl interpreter, which allows you to run this directly without preceding the command with Perl. It loads the standard socket library here on the second line. And then I have two default parameters. The default address is .101 and a default port of 9999. This next bit, I check and I say, if the second command line argument passed in is not blank, then someone must have run this and said, oh, I don't have the defaults. Let me tell you what they are. If that's the case, then I set my two variables equal to what they passed in. From there, I build this command. Again, it starts with gmon /, then a colon, and then a slash, and then a very long string. So in Linux systems, often the colon is used to separate directories. Now, I've done something a little different here. Notice that I have sent 1000 A's, 1000 B's, etc. And the reason that I'm doing this is we're going to show you how you can have it crash inside of a debugger, and knowing exactly where and how long of a string is needed to make it crash will be very helpful to us in our future endeavors in this course. After I've established this, I create a socket, which is TCP based. I call the socket, send some information. If I can't open this socket, this is a very common construct in Perl. It says or die. So if this doesn't return success, the program dies and it reports an error. I then receive up to 1024 bytes. This is my receiving of the banner that's sent out that says, welcome to vulnerable server. I print out any banners received, and then I send my command. So if I'm sending a command that will cause it to crash, it should crash. I should point out that you could easily modify this script and you could have some sort of a loop. So you could build up to the 5,000 characters and you could do all kinds of other things. I'm just trying to keep it simple here and give you an idea of what you can do. So let's go to our virtual machine. I already have Vuln server running and I want to run up Ollie Debugger. Start another command prompt. And I'll go to the directory where I have downloaded Ollie Debugger. Go ahead and run it. Gives me a little warning because I'm not logged in as the admin. I can ignore that for now. When we introduced this program, we said you could give it a program to run. In our case, we want to click on File and then go to Attach, and we are going to attach to a running server. So I can expand this a little bit. If I scroll down, sure enough, here's my vulnerable server. Click on that and click on Attach. Now it will take a little bit of time and it will give me a warning. It says, do you want to use that old data? And I'm going to tell it, no, I do not want to use that. So after a little bit of time here, it should come up with my program. Now you'll notice down here in the corner, it will say that it's pausing. It won't successfully do this for whatever reason until I actually try to talk to it. I'll go back to my Linux system. I'm going to run my script. If you create a script like this yourself, change it to make it executable, And the way to do that is simply to use the command chmod plus x and then the name of your file. I'll run it by typing fuzzpl, and now it's run. And it appears like it's stopped for a second. So if I go back to my virtual machine, I'll see why. Notice now it says paused. So if I click on play, it says paused again. However, something changed. If I look down here, notice that it says access violation when writing to this memory address. So it crashed. The other thing that you'll notice over here, we talked about this pane containing registers. Notice that one of the registers has a bunch of D's in it, and another one has one B and a whole bunch of C's in it. So we will see in future videos how you can use that information in order to find out exactly what caused this to crash, how long of a string, and we can control that crash and redirect execution to some code that we control, some shell code or something else that we will control. So if I do go back to my Linux system, notice I did get that vulnerable server banner, and then the program crashed.